What if the woman you love never told you she was leaving emotionally until she was already gone? She didn't pack a bag, she didn't raise her voice, she just quietly stopped bringing herself to you, and you didn't notice, not because you didn't care, because nobody ever showed you what that slow disappearance actually looks like from her side. Here's what happened. It wasn't a moment, it was a pattern. A slow, invisible pattern made up of small, everyday behaviors that you never even realize are dangerous because nobody ever told you they were. I've spent over 2 decades working with couples in real crisis, not social media crisis, real crisis. Silence that lasts for months, resentment that builds behind polite dinners and normal-looking weekends. And in almost every case, when I traced it back to the beginning, it wasn't betrayal. It wasn't neglect in the obvious sense. It was 5 specific behavioral patterns that chipped away at a woman's emotional connection until there was nothing left to hold on to. These aren't rare, these aren't dramatic, these are things happening in relationships right now, today, probably in yours. And if you can recognize them, actually recognize them, not just nod along. You have a chance to change something before it's too late. I've seen you turn it around completely. I've also seen you miss this window, so let's get into it. Number 1, you respond to what she says, but not to what she means. She tells you she's tired. You say, okay, go rest. She tells you work was hard. You say, yeah, mine too. She tells you she feels like she's doing everything alone. You say, that's not true, I did the dishes. Last night, every single one of those responses is technically correct, and every single one of them misses the point entirely. What she is actually saying when she tells you she is tired is that she needs you to notice her. When she says work was hard, she's not asking for a comparison. She's asking for a moment of being seen. When she says she feels alone, she is not compiling evidence against you. She is reaching out the only way she knows how. Women communicate. In layers, the surface layer is the sentence. The real layer is the feeling underneath it. When you respond only to the sentence, she hears something very clear. She hears that you're not actually listening, not really, and after enough of those moments, she stops sending the real layer altogether. She starts giving you the surface, and you wonder why she feels distant. Number 2, you show up for the big moments and disappear. In the small ones, you planned the birthday dinner, you remembered the anniversary. You were there when it really counted, the hard nights, the family emergencies, the moments that required real presence, and you think that counts. It does count, but here's what you don't understand. A woman's emotional security is not built in the big moments. It's built in Tuesday afternoon. It's built in the 30-second conversation. In the kitchen before work, it's built in the way you look up from your phone when she walks into the room, or don't. The big moments tell her you care. The small moments tell her you're actually with her, and what disconnection usually feels like to her. Not to you, is you showing up beautifully when there is an occasion and disappearing into your own world the rest of the time. She doesn't want a highlight reel of a relationship. She wants you consistently present in the ordinary. That ordinariness is not boring to her. That ordinariness is the relationship. Number 3, you fix instead of feeling. She's upset. Maybe it's about you, maybe it's not. Doesn't matter. Your instinct, because you are a man and this is how you are wired, is to locate the problem and solve it. You start asking questions that sound helpful but feel like an interrogation. You offer solutions before she's finished the first sentence. You try to fast forward her past the emotion and into resolution, and every single time you do this, she feels more alone than before she started talking. Here's the truth. She is usually not coming to you because she needs you to fix something. She is coming to you because you are the person she chose. Because sitting with her discomfort without rushing her out of it is one of the most intimate things you can do. The fix is not what she needs. The witness is. The moment you sit down, go quiet, and let her feel what she is feeling without steering it, that moment lands differently than anything you could say or solve. Try it once, just once. Stay in the feeling with her instead of working to end it. Watch what happens. Number 4, you've stopped being someone she has to think about. This one is harder to hear, so stay with me. Early on, you had an energy about you. There was something happening in your life. You had direction, opinions, standards you didn't agree with. Everything she said, you had places to be. She didn't know exactly what you were thinking, and that unknowing kept her tuned in. At some point in a long relationship, that shifts. You become fully available, fully predictable, fully focused on keeping things smooth. You stop having a strong interior life that exists independent of her, and what happens to her attraction is almost involuntary. She doesn't decide to feel less, she just starts feeling less, because women are drawn to you when you have gravity, when you have a rich inner world, when you aren't managed by her moods. When you have opinions, you'll actually stand behind you, command her attention without trying to. When you abandon that version of yourself in the name of keeping peace, you don't get peace, you get quiet distance. Number 5, you wait for permission to lead. You ask where she wants to eat. You ask what she wants to do this weekend. You ask if she's okay with this or if she'd prefer that, and you think you're being respectful. You think you're giving her what she wants, but what she actually wants, what most women will never say out loud because they don't know how to say it without sounding unreasonable, is you deciding sometimes, not controlling, leading. There is a difference, and it matters enormously. Leading means you make a reservation without asking. It means you plan the evening and tell her to be ready at 7. It means you hold a position in a disagreement without folding the moment she pushes back. It means she can feel your spine. When you lose this quality, when you become soft in the way that has nothing to do with kindness and everything to do with self-abandonment, she feels the absence of it in a way she can't always name. But she feels it consistently, and over time it erodes something that affection alone cannot rebuild. So there it is, 5 patterns. None of them dramatic, all of them real. And if you recognize yourself in even one of them, that's not a reason to spiral. That's a reason to move. The men I've watched turn relationships around didn't do it with grand gestures or long conversations about feelings. You do it by changing one behavior at a time, quietly, consistently, without needing credit for it. If this gave you something worth keeping, subscribe. There's more where this came from, the kind of honest, uncomfortable content that actually shifts something. And if there's a man in your life who needs to hear this, send it to him. Sometimes the most useful thing you can do for another man is hand him a mirror.